In this tutorial, we will be discussing how to convert from grams to moles and moles to grams of a compound. For elements, the molar mass is the mass of 1 mole of atoms of the element. For compounds, the molar mass is the mass of 1 mole of molecules or formula units of that compound. We convert between mass of a compound and moles of that compound when we calculate the number of molecules or formula units from the moles. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be calculating the molar mass and then using that to convert from grams to moles and back again. So let's just take a little bit of practice of what molar mass is first. Let's find the molar mass of CO2. Carbon and oxygen are the elements. We have 1 carbon and 2 oxygens. From here we look on the periodic table. Carbon is 12.0 grams per mole, AMUs, while oxygen is 16.0. So that comes out to be 12.0 and 32.0. We then add these together to make it come up to 44.0 AMUs. But we're going to switch this over to grams is equal to 1 mole, because that automatically puts it into the conversion factor we need to go from grams to moles. Alright, so let's just jump right in. Calculate the mass in grams of 1.75 moles of water, which we know is H2O. So we have hydrogen and oxygen, 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen, 1.0 for hydrogen, 16.0 for oxygen. Multiply that out and add them together to be 18.0 grams per mole, or 18.0 grams is equal to 1 mole. So 1.75 moles of water over 1. We have moles on top, so we want to put moles on the bottom of the next one. Notice this slash here. That means 18.0 grams is equal to 1 mole. So that 1 mole goes on the bottom. That's equal to 18.0 grams, which then goes on the top. So 1.75 times 18 divided by 1. That comes out to be 13.5 grams. Let's do another one. Convert 25.0 grams of KMnO4 to moles. So, notice the word grams. Grams should automatically make you think molar mass. In other tutorials, we've used Avogadro's number. We've used that number for atoms, ions, molecules, and formula units. If you saw one of those 4 units or 4 words, you would automatically use 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. I want you to start doing the same thing for molar mass. If you see the word mass or the word grams, automatically think molar mass, and remember that you need to then look at the periodic table, and that's how you know your conversion factor. That's the key term you need to look for. If you don't think you're going to remember that, or if you have problems remembering that, at the very least make a flashcard to force yourself to memorize that. So K, Mn, and O. 1 potassium, 1 manganese, and 4 oxygens. K is 39.1. Mn, manganese, is 55.0. And oxygen is 16.0. You're going to multiply that out. So 1 times 39.1 is 39.1. 1 times 55.0 is 55.0. And 4 times 16 is 64.0. Add those 3 numbers together and it comes out to be 158.1 grams is equal to 1 mole. Notice that I immediately went from gram/mole to grams is equal to 1 mole. This way it automatically puts it into the conversion factor I need to use it for the question. So 25.0 grams is the number we're trying to convert. So that's the number that's going to go over 1. Grams is on top, so that means I'm going to put grams on the bottom. I look at the conversion factor. Here's grams. 158.1 goes with the G, so that's where I'm going to put that. That's equal to whatever goes on the top of the line, which is 1 mole. So it's going to be 25 divided by 158.1. That comes out to be 0.158 moles. We're going to do one last example. Calculate the number of moles that are in 17.0 grams. I see the word grams again. I immediately think molar mass, which makes me think of the periodic table that I have to calculate. So that means I have to look up the molar mass of H2O. Hydrogen and oxygen. I have 2 hydrogens and I have 2 oxygens. That's not coming out right. 2. So hydrogen is 1.0 and oxygen is 16.0. 2 times 16 is 32.0 grams per mole. Add those together. 32 plus 2 is 34.0 grams is equal to 1 mole. So I start off by putting the number we're trying to convert over 1. $17.0 is on the top. Grams is on the top. I want to put grams on the bottom. I look at my conversion factor. 34.0 goes with grams. That's equal to 1 mole. So that's going to go on top. So 17 divided by 34.0, that gives me 0.500 moles. And that's how you go from grams to moles and back again.